This is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. And the Monstera fruit has been coming in. And I'm exceptionally surprised and happy that I planted this 6 years ago, this Monstera deliciosa plant, because the fruit is like, it's the best fruit I think I've ever had. It's just so different. It's like the best mango with a banana and pineapple and cherimoya mixed together. And you wait for this. I picked this one like this. This was falling off. I took a bite out of it right off the plant. You wait for these things to fall off, and then you eat this part here. This part that looks like a banana. There's bugs on it, I see. Yeah. I'm gonna eat it anyway. It's so melting. It's like little corn kernels of sweetness. Delicious. So delicious. So we got quite a bit of fruit of this. We've got star apples. I got these for seeds. We've got lots of seeds. I got star apple seeds. Got some other stuff. I'm gonna go look at the big Monstera plant where that came from. Just gonna admire these philodendrons. So philodendrons, I guess, have a berry. This is philodendron tenue, AFF. Is it AFF or CF? I didn't put AFF, I think. So yeah, they get berries, and I guess they're edible. I wonder what they taste like. I've never heard of that before, but I just read that. So the more I learn, the more fascinating everything becomes. So we grow all this stuff the same way. We grow plants as medicine. So we look at the whole system rather than one piece at a time, like water or NPK or fungus or pesticides. We just look at the soil, and everything else falls into place naturally. So we make biodynamic compost. And I don't do a turn pile. I don't believe in that, but I do a static pile. And it's just our Zebu manure and pine shavings and hay, some fruit from I've made bokashi out of. And then I put biodynamic preps in it and just wait for it to turn into soil. It can take quite a while, but everything grows in it. The fruit trees, the rare philodendrons, the rare monstera, the rare anthuriums, the rare fruit trees. Obviously, you're not going to have a pot of compost to grow a mango in, but it seems to work for these. Tree kales, tree collards. Shelly, you waiting for a rat to come by? Hot cat. So the thing that started my obsession with the aroids was the Monstera deliciosa albo. And I bought myself a node cutting 2 years ago and planted it out in the orchard floor. And this was like the third leaf it put out off. And from the node, I planted it out in the orchard floor and then dug it up about a year ago, or 8 months ago, and put it in here. And it had good variegation on the main stem, but it sent out a bunch of green leaves, or just with minimal variegation. But now it finally is sending out. I moved it to the sun over here, and I see white inside that leaf. So it's supposed to be Monstera deliciosa albo, but I'm not 100% sure yet. It's 2 years it's taken to get that size. It's a little mango seedling. This stuff seems okay during the drought. I mean, it's like, that's pretty lush still. I mean, it's not my favorite. I would rather see rainy, wet summer, but it's what we have. And I don't think I have to worry too much. It seems fairly resilient. Since we didn't just focus on one item at a time, like we didn't focus on water, but we focused on soil and soil health. And basically just practicing the no disturbance, planting plants, and adding animal manures, small amounts, daily, year-round. This is basically what our compost looks like. And I drop a 50-pound pile every day, year-round, throughout the orchard floor. Got to stay like away from trees that have fruit on them to be certified organic. If you want to sell the fruit, you have to wait 4 months. Is it 120 days after applying it before you can sell fruit as certified organic to the public, for, they say, for health reasons, but I've never gotten sick off doing that. But so I adhere to that policy. But I don't know. I don't think it's, probably some people just put too much manure down, maybe. I think that's what it is. People put too much stuff down. People put too much nitrogen down. They put too much water down. I know as a child, until I left home at 18 in Northern California, we did not water our lawns in the summer. They went brown. This was in the 60s and 70s, so I don't know what they do now, but obviously people are watering their lawns here in Florida, so I'm sure they're watering their lawns in Northern California. This pomelo is like, that's how it looks during time of drought. But it hasn't dropped any leaves. I just closed them all up, but I see summer open back up, so it's hanging in there. This was my heliconia cuttings that I did during winter, and yeah, all that brown is from the, you know, it's drought stress, but the main plant is fine. Probably water might be the most overused input people do. I just don't want to ever become reliant on it. I want this system to be able to survive without any help from anybody. So if a tree isn't going to survive, then it's to probably die. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I'd rather just have plants that can survive the changes that nature throws at them from the environment. And I'm sure they're going to survive because they look fine. So here's our delicious Monstera deliciosa. This is flowers from this year, so 14 months or whatever from now, this will be ready. This is where I got the fruit off. This, just cut it right, you know, I just broke it off. Really amazing tasting fruit. It does not taste good when you eat a star fruit with the Monstera deliciosa fruit. Some more. That one looks like it should be picked too. Just snap them off. I forgot one, I missed it, because once they start ripening up, they just go. See that one right there? They just rot real quick. Because they're like the texture of bananas, but with an intense, delicious, much more delicious flavor. It's amazing. I'm curious to see what the philodendron berries are going to be like. So this plant has got lots of flowers on it, and it was like a 3-gallon nursery grown plant. Quite a bit of fruit for next year. I think this one's ready too. No, nope, it's not. So I guess they snap when they're ready. Bananas are looking good. So here's a not a Monstera, Philodendron maximus. This has huge giant leaves on it. Arrow shaped, shield shaped leaves, heart shaped. And the plant grows about 10 feet, they say, which probably means 20 feet. So it'll only get like the lower portion of this big giant tree. Probably you couldn't do this farm so successfully without these giant trees. Probably. Definitely we could not do it without the giant trees. Cacao. Look at the cacao. The leaves look like the king anthurium, or yeah, that's what they look like, the king anthurium, or Anthurium beechii, or Philodendron patriciae. Is that what is that, a spider web holding that little thing? It's a UFO. So yeah, the cacao look great. That one back there looks great. They all look great. They're all seed grown. Seed grown cacao. Some muchachas in here and some other Garcinia dulcis and stuff like that. There's some over here, some cacao. Two types. We have a red one and a yellow one. That's a Garcinia humilis, the Achachi Earl. Seed grown, of course. I know I have another cacao in here. I need to prune this ginger back. There it is. You can plant trees with ginger, but the tree has to be the equal size as the ginger. So a seed started tiny little cacao tree should be planted next to one rhizome of ginger. So planting like a little tiny tree next to a big clump of ginger, the ginger is gonna smother it. So you have to chop it back. I do. There's a seed grown, African peach. It's getting big. It's a Noclea latifolia. When cattle eat it, they excrete tramadol in their urine and feces. It's a syzygium, the rose apple. Heliconias, of course. They seem fine. Bananas seem fine. So I planted a bunch of Garcinia brasiliensis and Gardneriana seeds at the base of all these cassavas because I know the voles don't seem to get into the cassava at the base of them. And they will go, gophers and things that eat seeds and plant roots. So dry. We're supposed to get rain today. So dry. It's a little scary. But the fruit doesn't stop. I divided some of that Monstera deliciosa. I should go check those cuttings while I'm doing this video. I want to look at that mother cacao, fruiting cacao, because cacao needs to be grown more in Florida because it can take drought. This is dry farm from seed, and it can take freeze, and it can take standing water, and it fruits in 5 years from seed. So it needs, more people need to grow it and practice where to grow it. It likes a little bit of shade. All the cacao seed grown I planted in full sun succumbed, so I plant mine in shade, and they fruit in shade. This tree is flowering right now, not very well, but it doesn't show any sign of drought stress. Produced 6 little fruit for us. One got eaten. That's how I knew it was ripe. Little tiny fruit, first year, 5 years from seed. About 6-inch long fruit, about the size of these leaves. I fruited the parent tree of this in Brevard County, dry farmed. So I know it's possible. Those trees are still there. Here's the seedling growing next to that seedling from that cacao, from the fruit this past year. And this is my compost pile. So basically this is like what I start all my tropical fruit trees in. It's just daily bedding from the Zebu. So it's a manure turd, and it's got pea in there, and it's dirty pine shavings, and a little bit of hay. And I drop that every day. I just add biodynamic preps to where I get the soil from. But I grow vegetables in that in the winter. I'll rake it and plant some lettuce in there. Maybe not that pile, but a pile. I'm gonna do it closer to the house this year. So this citrus seems totally fine. See that citrus right there? Look at how healthy that is. Seed-grown citrus. I think this is a sweet orange. I don't know. It's got little tiny leaves on it like a kumquat, but I don't know, I planted so many things. Could be like a mandarin orange. This is a kumquat. It's showing drought stress, but it's right next to this path. My mowed path that I haven't had to mow in 5 weeks now. Normally I have to mow it every 5 days during this time. So the leaves close up when these little tiny trees are dealing with drought stress. But they, as long as they're not dropping the leaves, it's just a natural, they wouldn't have that built-in defense to deal with drought if they weren't able to do it. So I've never watered any citrus here, and we fruit our citrus. They produce fruit at 3 years and it's ripe at 4 years from seed. So we're on our 2nd generation of seed-grown citrus, dry farmed. This branch, this tree was very sickly. That's kind of why I stopped mowing. I wanted to try to fix what was happening to these live oak trees because they were all starting to die. That one died, or there's one over there that died, and then this one started dying. And it was just a big, huge, giant lawn that would be standing water ponds, hot, really hot standing water because it was so compacted. And this was a ditch for drainage that they put in. It's like not really a ditch, but a channel, like what they do in permaculture that goes to a pond in the back. But it used to be like 20 foot wide when it rained, but now we don't get rain. But when we do get rain, it doesn't have standing water. I can walk right across it. It might get a little tiny bit here, but I could step across. Before I would have to wade across up to my knees in water all summer long. But not mowing has solved that problem. So this little cacao tree, that's drought stress. See that? That branch broke, and so it probably got more sun, but it's fine. It will be fine. That Luke's Garcinia, same thing. But most Luke's Garcinia, I don't see any drought stress on. So I think that's probably sunburnt, a lot of it. Because these Luke's Garcinias don't have any on it, and they're still under shade. Yeah, we need some water. We definitely need some water. Supposedly today is the day we're gonna get water. Anyway, this is Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, Florida Natural Farming. Have a good day.